Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. I can't believe I'm having to reshoot this. About 4 days ago, I shot a video and I lost the first whole half hour of footage. The life of a YouTube video maker. I can't say it's not the first time I've ever done that. That's what happens when you shoot a bunch of footage and you put it in your computer and you go ahead and edit that part and leave it. It gets deleted. I do so many videos, I delete so much stuff, I deleted it. But what we're working on today, what we're actually finishing today, Briggs And Stratton Storm Responder 5500 watt generator. What I do, I film every generator I do. I do a pretty good bit of generators. You know, 90% of them are fuel problems because they've been sitting. I film every one of them just for the customer so they can see the video, because I give it back to them, you know, without any fuel. Matter of fact, I just got that one put out yesterday. The little Honda belongs to the same person. Even that blower over there does. I got to get this done and get it back to them today, the last day of the year. Well, let me see here. I'll go over what I did in the first part, the troubleshooting and diagnosing part of the video. Yesterday I filmed getting the new carburetor. But let me go over what I did. You know, when I first got this thing on the table, it ran. It didn't run good. You know, I turned the fuel on, cranked it, it ran. But I shut the engine off. I didn't turn the fuel off. But that carburetor right here was leaking. It wasn't leaking out the vent. To me, it looked like it was leaking out of the O-ring. Little Nicky style carburetor. Let me show you what I found. I'll show you what I found. But it was leaking right out of the, right in there, from what I could tell. I don't see how this thing was running. When I took it apart, it was missing the O-ring. It was completely gone. That was non-existent. And it was put together just like that. And you can see it had a ton of water in it. Woo, had a ton of water in it. When I finally drained the fuel tank, it had probably a ½ inch of water on the bottom of the fuel tank. And I took the fuel tank off, drained it, dried it real good, let it sit for a couple of days on the table over there, let it dry completely. I cleaned it real good, blew it out and dried it. But that's how the carburetor was. After I got that new O-ring kit put on there, it started just pouring out of the vent. I even swapped out the needle and seat and everything. It still just poured. So I'm like, you know what? This thing is dangerous. That's going to be in somebody's basement. Can't give them a generator back with a leaky carburetor. So I got a new carburetor. And then the footage to follow. Here in just a few, I'll cut back to the footage I made yesterday. You'll see me install the new carburetor and it run good and everything. But the fuel tank, when I pull the petcock out of it and everything, this, look how cracked up that is. I went ahead and replaced the, you'll see in the video, I replaced the grommet. Yep, and there's the fuel tank over there. That thing was, whoo, slap full of water. I don't see how it was running, but it was running. It was. I went ahead and changed the oil. We changed the oil, new spark plug, new carburetor. Ran it, I tested it, plugged the drill into it. That's the footage I lost, but it does work. All right, I'm gonna stop this here. I'm gonna cut to the footage I did yesterday, and then we will put it back together. Get it back to him. I got a lot to do today. As you can probably see, I got a lot to do today. Try to get this stuff wrapped up on the last day of the year. Y'all hang with. Pow! New carburetor finally came in. Let's get busy. All right. This tank has been sitting there for about 2 days and this thing is dry as a bone. blew it out again real good, and it's empty. That scared me for a second. I thought that was a crack in the tank. Just a little sliver. There we go. Put the new grommet in there. Put a little dash of WD. Easy, 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 greasy. Well, I say a little dash of WD, that was a whole bunch. Get that in there. Come on, little fuel screen, squeeze in there. Don't hurt the fuel screen. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't want to mess up that screen there. There we go. There we go. I believe this might going to be a pain in the butt right here. Now I got to get this thing to squeeze down in there without hurting the tank. Don't hurt it. Easy. Easy. You just got to keep pushing gently. This is all plastic. Whew. That's why you got to use WD. Yeah. Don't hurt the tank. Don't hurt the tank. I'm gonna hold that grommet. Try to. So I can twist it without the grommet twisting with it. Tell you what, I gotta move that hose clamp right there. That thing is digging into the palm of my hand. Slide that over a little bit. I'll tell you what, just pop it all the way off. There we go. Just gotta keep working it. Woo! Be careful. Let me grab my rubber mallet, tap it just a little bit. We can't let it whoop us. Well, that's ridiculous. That ain't gonna work. Let me grab a little bit thinner pair of wire to hold that with. Hold it real good. We still got to go in a pretty good bit. Yeah. Woo. Boy, we're earning it. I wish there was a way I could stick something in there and support the bottom of this gas tank. Ain't no way in the world to get in there though. You just got to keep working it. Another pair of pliers. Whew. That'll get your blood pumping right here. Well, there really ain't no good way to hold that grommet so you can twist on it. We're almost there. There we go. We got it, I believe. Yeah. By golly, we got it. Whew. We win. We win. That's good that it fits so tight. That is really, really good. Yeah, we're all the way down. Well, it took 3 different pair of pliers and a hammer and a couple of biceps, but we win. We win this time again. All right, now we'll come back over to the generator and slap the new carburetor on there. Put that down. Got my blood pumping. Let me lower the camera a little bit. Okay. I'll do the flashlight. That magnet's so powerful, I dread every time I have to set it down. It's like, okay. Let me find the studs. That gasket's still good. We're going to keep using it. And when we get done, put the fuel tank back on, get everything hooked up here, put some gas in it, run it. Then we're going to take the carburetor and fuel tank back off again and dry it again. That's exactly what we're going to do. Sounds like somebody over here playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I felt like I threw my leg out doing that over there. Puts a little spring in its hole. Something ain't right. Something's in a bind. Something is in a bind here. There we go. That's right. We had something in a bind. Go in the hole, baby. There we go. And you just take this, pull this around and clip it there. I think I got that spring in the wrong place. I think that spring goes right there. I think that's how I remember taking it apart. Unbelievably. And you just clip that on there. Go get your spring back. It flip way down in there. Okay. We're good. We are good. Okay. Now, we'll lower the table, put the fuel tank back on it. Hook up the fuel line. Put some fuel in it. We've already got the oil changed. Already got a new spark plug in it. Twisted the wrong way. Let's go that way. Okay. Now we'll put the 4 bolts back in the fuel tank. Well, if you know what? Yeah, I'll put a couple of bolts back in it. I don't want it dancing around up there. I don't want it dancing around. We'll put one here and one over here. Okay. I need to run to the gas station and get some more gas. All my cans are almost empty. I didn't want to do that at the beginning of winter. Well, all 3 of those cans are empty over there now. I got one more can right here. Grab my pump. It's kind of hard to gauge. Well, no, not really. It's not hard to gauge how much inside. I'll tell you, this thing is so nice. You got to make sure you put enough. It's got to go up and above that pickup screen. So you got to put a good inch, well, maybe a half inch in it. All right, we'll set this aside. Ooh. right, now we'll raise it back up and check for leaks. While it slowly fills the bowl, if we put enough in it. That's off and that's on. I should have wiped all that WD-40 off of it. Hard to hang on to. Seems to run pretty good. Seems to run pretty good. Okay, now we'll cut the fuel back off. Get these two screws back out. Hey, buddy. Let me hit pause 1 second. All right, forgot where it was. That was a nice fella right there. We got to talk about all kinds of different stuff. That's a good thing about having your own shop, man. You can just have a half-hour conversation with a customer when you want to. Okay, we talk about everything from family to military. I love it. Where was I? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's see, let's pull this fuel line back off here. Let's see, turn the fuel off. Get that fuel line taken back off. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna suck whatever gas I can back out of this tank up there. Then we'll pop this carburetor back off. I ain't taking the bowl off and disturbing that O-ring right there. But then again, there's no drain plug. So what I'm gonna do is take this off, just turn it over, let it pour back out the vents, leave it upside down overnight, and let it dry completely. All right, let's go around here. Set you up here. Yeah, I'm not gonna put this back in my gas can. I'm gonna take and put all that fuel back in a separate container. Nice clean stainless steel pan. Ow. Get your favorite stainless steel pan. Yay! I want to try to get whatever trash is left in there. If there's any at all, we're going to find out when we look in this pan right here. I just love this little pump. You know, when I was doing this video and that video and the other one, I didn't even think about having this pump right here. I'm sitting there letting it dribble up the fuel line for an hour and a half. that's all we're gonna get out of that. Slide that over there. Let's set this pan over here. Yeah, I'm gonna pour this gas in my mower right there. Yeah, it was nice and clean. Yeah, very nice. Very nice, very nice. So what I'll do is grab this tank. Ooh, set it in here. Turn the fuel valve on. Let's see, I wonder if there's a way we can set this thing up somehow or another to, I'll tell you what. I'll set it right there and raise the table a little bit. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll let that fuel line hang off the end of the table and I'll put this pan back under it. And I'll turn the fuel back on. And then I'll take this piece of 2x4. Tilt it like that and let it drain whatever's left in it. All right. Yeah, there's still a little bit left in there, and we'll let that thing dry again overnight. I'm gonna pull this carburetor back off. Come on now, in here. That's good, we didn't have any leaks. Pull that back. All right, put that there. Seems to run pretty good. And then tomorrow morning, it's already after 4 o'clock now, so. Grab another pan over here. Grab my favorite carburetor pan. Hey! See, I don't want to disturb any of this, so what I'll do is just kind of let it run out the vents. And then what we can do is take some carb cleaner and stick it right down in that vent right there, and that'll displace whatever fuel's left in the bowl area, and it'll dry. This stuff evaporates really quick. You gotta find that sweet spot. You give it an ever so slight little breeze. All right, just let that sit there and dry overnight. Everything in there is nice and clean. Just kind of lay it over like that. Let me dump this. All right, we'll just lay it down like that right there overnight, and then we'll take the fuel tank just leave it right there, leave the fuel open, cap off, just let it air out and just dry real good. See, I've been letting the cap sit off of this one all day after I cleaned this one. This video will come out before this one will, because I've already done that one. All this stuff belongs to the same feller. Well, all right. As soon as I come back, it'll be in the morning. We get to put this thing back together, completely dry, and ship it back. Y'all hang with. Okay, let's slap this thing back together now. It's the next morning, and that fuel tank has been dried out again after we filled it full of fuel and tested it. The carburetor and everything is set overnight. It dried out real good. I'm dead. So we'll slap her back together, get this thing back, get it back to him. I know he wants his stuff back. And I know I need the room in here. Get the throttle linkage put back on. Pow, snap. Grab your needly nose. Let me get a flashlight here, you can see what I'm doing better. Throttle linkage is back on. Get the little return spring hooked back in there like that, right there. And then we'll grab some tools. Grab your I keep calling it E3, it's a E5 external. And you can see the last person I worked on this thing has taken a pair of pliers or something and really boogered it up. I had to take a hammer and tap that on there and try to clean that up a little bit. But we got it. Gasket's in good shape. Bleep doo 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 doo. Okay, got that on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fuel tank on now. Okay, let me lower the table. Lower the bell, and we'll get the 4 bolts back in it holding the fuel tank on. Start them by finger so you don't cross thread it. What is it with the Cub Cadet and the ZT1s always throwing a transmission belt? I tell you, I see that so often. They're just weak. That's what's wrong with that one over there. The feller hit a bump or made a funny maneuver or something and slung his transmission belt off. It ain't hurt. I gotta crawl under there and put it back on. Okay, there's that. Clear gasket. Get his old gasket off there. Put this in the wire wheel. Nice and clean. Get that razor blade out of the way before I forget about it, and you know I will. Let's see, where is... Let's see, I'll put this one back on there. I shouldn't have took that off. There we go. Let's see, that needs to go. Choke is that way. Choke. And that just slides down on top of that. All right. Now we'll put the crankcase vent hose back inside this valve cover. There we go. Put the nuts on it. Got the fuel line hooked up. Run that down. That's a 7/16, not a 10mm. All right. Let's see, we'll turn the fuel off. His air filter was new. He probably just put that air filter on there. Yeah, this thing belongs to his dad from southern Louisiana. That's why it's all crusty, man. It sure is hot and humid down there. You can see all the rust all over it. Just harsh conditions down there. Okay, fuel off. Put the gas cap back on there. Fuel tank is nice and dry and clean. New grommet. Change the oil. String looks good. Let's see, oil looks good. We changed it yesterday. Let me check it one more time. You can't check it too many times. Perfect. All right. All right. All right, boys and girls, that's another generator brought back and winterized and prepared for storage. See, right now it's just like it is if you bought it off the shelf at the store. Just put gas in it and you're good to go. You let it set for as long as you want. It's not a danger being in your basement because it has no fuel, no fumes coming off, just like that one I did yesterday's video. And then, let's see, today's Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm gonna go ahead and put his blower video out. In that video, at the end of the video, you know, he gave me a new carburetor kit. In the video, I didn't put the new carburetor on because his only problem was a broken fuel line. That's the reason it wasn't getting fuel and wouldn't run. But I was having trouble adjusting it, so I might as well, he already bought it, so I went ahead and put that new carburetor on there. Runs like a scalded polecat. That's good. Well, all right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Newby video. I love you and I need you. Get these things buttoned up, get them back. I got lots to do. Yeah, I got about 5 more of these. See, what I do is I do the video, then I send the customer a link to watch the video in an email. Because when I do a video like this, I got so many built up in my library that a lot of them are just still unlisted. And when I do one, it'll be weeks before I make it public. That's why in some of my videos, you'll see this before I got the door painted and before I hung the sticker board and everything. So in some of my videos, they're kind of old. I still got some videos back from October I haven't made public yet. So what I do is I just email the customer the link to watch this. If you have a video unlisted, you can email somebody the link and they can watch the video. But if you have it set to private, they can't do that. That's why I'm gonna go ahead and make these public. Like I said, I got 3 or 4 more generator videos I haven't made public yet because I'm doing so many generators right now. People are preparing for the winter, and I don't want to flood my YouTube page with this pure generators. Yeah, these I actually started more than a week ago. Yeah. Well, all right, boys and girls, let me ramble on here. I love y'all, need y'all. Thanks for watching another. And man, we will catch y'all on the next one. Love y'all.